Our vibration was so high last week. We were like, we don't need to lower anything. It's fabulous. Well, guess what? Time passed and we feel different this week.
It makes me nervous even talking about only having 3 drawers of clothes. I'm like, what would I take? What would I take for 3 drawers? I can't even pack a suitcase with three drawers of clothes for a weekend.
I actually think that forgetting is okay.
Well, it must be because I do it all the time. Well, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm so excited to see you. Welcome.
Welcome, everyone, back to the Living Magic Podcast. We're your hosts, Catherine Middlebrooks.
And Kyla Jenkinson.
And today, we're talking spring cleaning.
That's right. That is so right.
In all the ways. And let's just tell everybody that I got on here at our scheduled meeting time. And
well, I slept in.
And I called you and it went straight to voicemail. And I was like, oh, shit. Where is she?
Not a good sign. I literally woke up though at 8:02. And then I looked at my phone and you sent me a text at 8:02. So I think there's some magic in that. Like I must have been sixth sensing. Because this is not our normal time and it was out of my regular scheduled brain schedule.
Totally.
It's on my schedule, but not my brain schedule. When you get on my brain schedule, you're in luck because I can remember things if you made it to my brain schedule. But
the funny thing is, I don't know how I didn't make it to your brain schedule because you were the one that picked this time.
Well, that is true.
But look at us. Here we are.
Look.
We've arrived.
Yeah,
have you had
nice.
any coffee? Probably not.
No, I've had nothing. I'm having tea.
Look at this pure being in front of us. Kyla J.
Most people are looking, they're listening, and they're like, whatever. All they're thinking right now is, hey, you know what we need to do? Lower our expectation.
But
so we can raise our vibration.
Raise your vibration.
But last week we decided to ditch that quote.
We were so high. Our vibration was so high last week. We were like, we don't need to lower anything. It's fabulous. Well, guess what? Time passed and we feel different this week.
I do think it's better. The other one is better. That's what we're aiming for. We're aiming to hitch your wagon to a rainbow. But,
yep.
But we're in meat suits. And so the other one kind of balances out hitch your wagon to a rainbow so we don't feel like we're total unicorns in the sky.
I mean, it's the yin and the yang, right? You can be hitching your wagon to a rainbow, but you also have to recognize you're a human and you got to lower your expectations to in any way raise your vibration. So we're doing all and both.
Okay, so I started doing some spring cleaning majorly by force of nature, and it's just ongoing. It's just an ongoing process for me.
Because you're really bad at it.
I'm so bad at it. But I've already gotten rid of like 2 garbage bags, like construction garbage bags, you know, the big bad daddies, out of my house. And you're like, how is that possible? But then you remember who I am and you're like, oh, that was totally possible. I'm like, how is that possible? And then I look around and I keep saying this to you, but I'm like, I think we gotta burn it down.
Burn it down. Start over. Okay, well, but so let's frame it a little bit because spring cleaning, obviously, clean your house. It's the time the sun comes in. You're like, oh my God, everything's filthy and disgusting. But on a deeper level,
right,
it is
going in
energetic. Inside. It is energetic. And I, this year, had a real, what I can only call manic episode where I was like, my vibration was real high. And I was like, everything in this house needs to go. That was more like February, maybe it was January. I don't remember. It was sort of after Christmas time when all the stuff came in. Mm-hmm. And I was like, get rid of it all. I think I ended up taking 2 full trunks to Goodwill and throwing out at least 12 large garbage bags of stuff. And I have almost nothing.
I know, but here's the problem. Here's the problem with that, okay?
Yeah.
When I'm like, hey, Catherine, we're going to go on a girls' weekend, and the theme is this. This is earlier on in an invite, and you're like, I have no dress-up clothes. And I was like, I am sorry, but I did not hear you correctly. What did you say?
I know.
I don't have my, I'll figure it out, is what he said. I was like, well, I will bring extra for you. And I didn't really have to pack extra because I already was going to pack 3 suitcases full. But that is how I roll, just in case there is a dress up party. And you were like, I think I might have something, but I
Okay.
did move.
But wait, because I had moved to Colorado from an RV. So
Right.
I had stuff and then
I'm
I
not
had to
blaming you.
pair. Stop blaming me. I had paired, I had gotten rid of literally everything that I own, except I think I had 3 drawers that fit all my clothes that I lived with for almost 2 years. So when it came to
I
that girls' weekend, I was like, I don't have sparkly pants or a frilly skirt. It didn't fit in those 3 drawers. So
Okay, but we're like the extreme of each other,
we are, which
though.
is why this is a good conversation because we are the extreme. So I will be like, just get rid of
Okay.
it.
It makes me nervous even talking about only having 3 drawers of clothes.
I
I'm like, what would I take? What would I take for 3 drawers? I can't even pack a suitcase with three with
I
three
know.
drawers of clothes for a weekend,
We
a
went
3-day weekend.
when we went to Florida.
Oh my God.
Your suitcase was like 75 pounds. And
I
we were
know.
there for, I think, 4 nights. Um,
It was so heavy. And and then it was overweight. It doesn't matter. Let's not tell that story. But okay. Okay.
okay. Yes.
But I just feel like I really want to be attached to all the stuff. I don't even want to be. I just did that moon reading, that star and moon reading. And she was like, "You really like old things."
Mm,
I was like, because if you think about it from a magic standpoint, everything carries energy. And I'm just like, well, that's curious.
I
It is like
know.
Alice in Wonderland with stuff with me.
But
It
can
really is.
you
So,
also think about how much energy you are holding in your space that's not yours?
so much.
Like, oh my
I
God.
am having a party in here all the time. All
I
the time.
can barely, like in my office, sometimes I'll bring a rock, like a small crystal, and I'll be like, mm-mm, nope, nope, not right. It's like not, it's like the tiniest change of energy. I'm like, mm-mm, we've lost the balance. And then I think about your house and I'm like, it is just every corner it's
Oh, yeah. This is
oozing.
why I have to make the background go away.
Exactly.
Because you can't.
Okay, but here I'm having a thought.
Okay, let's think about it.
I'm having a thought. Buckle up. It's going to be a big one. Is this tied to the fact that you don't have a memory? Because it's like you don't trust your brain to be the memory. And so then the stuff is your memory. I
Absolutely.
was like, wait, did you stop talking? Oh,
No, I mouthed, oh my God, yes. That actually makes beyond so much sense to me.
I know.
Okay, I have to go back in time now. We're gonna have to take a little travel back in time.
All right, let's go.
Because as a child, I was obsessed with storytelling. I
Mhm.
wanted my parents to tell me a story every night. I didn't want to read stories. I didn't mind reading stories. I wanted them to tell me a story, tell me an experience.
Oh
I
my
want
God.
to know about a thing,
Oh, like a real story, not a made
a
up
real
story.
story. I don't
Okay.
want a made up story. I want a story about your life. And every time they would be like, oh, you know how you are. You're like,
Oh
I
God,
can't
that's
think
so
of
much work.
anything. Oh. And I was like, this is tragic. They can't remember anything. They can't remember anything. So really young, like probably not that young, but like 8, I started journaling, which I don't do anymore. Weird. Because I was like, I have to start remembering things because I'm not going to remember anything because my parents don't remember anything. My grandpa would tell me stories, but I think a lot of them he made up. But my parents were just like vacant in the memory department. And
Well, also, you're like, remember right now, tell me something right now. Like, I would also
I'm,
be vacant.
well, we would all be vacant. We're talking parents. I understand now, but as a kid, it was really disturbing. And so I think that that is why I wanted to be a photographer too, was I'm gonna capture all of the things with my camera. I'm gonna hold the memories. We're gonna encapsulate them. That was really a drive of mine that I looked back on later. Like, this is why I wanted to do this. I knew, because I knew when I was 8 that that's what I wanted to do for work
Hmm.
at 8 years old. And I would collect rocks along my path in life from the time I was very little. And I used to have, I don't anymore, all of these boxes labeled with where I found the rocks. So I would remember where I found the rock because I don't trust my memory.
You don't trust your memory. You don't.
No,
Yeah.
no.
But here's the other thing.
Yeah, go on.
I actually think that forgetting is okay.
Well, it must be because I do it all the time.
But I mean, even like forgetting a moment or a event, like because of the same idea of like I've got to clear out the clutter that's in my space. The whole like energetic idea of that is you're making space, you're making a vacuum basically where new abundant energy can come in because you've gotten rid of stuff. In the same way in your mind, it's like you're not meant to hold, your brain isn't meant to hold every single event that ever happened to you because then it can't process what you're in right now at this moment.
Okay, but let's go back to, yes, I agree with these things. This is great information, by the way.
Thank you.
But I'm going back though to, I don't know where this idea fully came from that I needed to remember everything or that I wanted to know so much stuff. And I wonder is as I re-entered this lifetime, if I was like, remember, remember, remember,
Right. Don't forget. Remember, you forgot.
remember,
Wait,
remember, remember, bring it in with you.
you forgot it all. Wait, where is
And then you
it?
get here and it's totally gone. And I'm like, from the time I was very small, asking my parents to tell me stories, and they're like, we got nothing. We don't remember either. And so it's like this lifelong quest that didn't seem like a lifelong quest until this moment to hold on to as much as I can so I don't forget about an
Okay.
experience.
But also
Yeah.
hold up because all of that clutter and things that are holding energy that you're holding to have as your memory are clogging up probably your brain's ability to actually remember the bigger picture.
Listen, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying we found the pattern. We
I
found the
know.
pattern.
But then
This
it's
is big
like,
deal. This is why we're doing the show so that we can remember
this
how
is
to
big
do
deal
magic.
because you
Yeah.
just yesterday were like, I'm so tired of dealing with all this stuff and thinking about all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. And like the energetic, you holding stuff to keep your memory is like clogging you up. Don't
Yeah.
be clogged.
Okay,
Pop the
let's real
cork.
quick. Let's pop the cork and let's get back to some things that I would love to get rid of. Like, do we really have to keep 3 years of bank statements?
No, you do not. They're
Okay,
online. You have them digitally.
thank you. Okay, right. Most people get that. I still like getting the paper ones because I print them out anyways for my tax keeping, blah, whatever. I'm like, you might as well print them and send them to me because I'm going to print them out anyway. You know?
That's fine, but if you've already given them to your accountant,
Then I
then
can throw them away. I
get
just
rid
have
of
so
them.
much paperwork. I don't even want to show you right now.
There
But
is
yeah.
almost no paperwork that is not also available to you digitally at this day and age. We do live in 2025 now.
Okay, so I should go ahead and request that they just do them all digital. Yes.
Yes, stop getting paper. Stop having them send cluttered. I can't believe you still are getting paper bank statements, but okay, continue.
Okay, so that's one thing. That's easy because I don't like that. And my electric bill comes. I should just get that electronic.
Yes, but you need to set up some systems so that you don't
Forget to pay it.
not see them and pay them. Yes, exactly.
I agree with that. Okay, good. We're getting somewhere. All right, now, okay, so we're just talking, this is good. We're talking about how we're energetically cleaning spaces, and in that process, it energetically cleans the inside. Like my aunt tells me this all the time. Kyla, your outside is a reflection of your inside. And I was like, isn't it pretty? Just kidding.
So
It's
full.
not. We know how cluttered it is. Okay. This is probably why I like to create other spaces that are very like stylized.
Strategic and
I'm
yes.
very good at that. Like not
Yes.
my own space, but like my office, my rentals, very stylized, very clean. So I can do that in other areas of my life, just not like my soul. Crystal can't do it. Crystal is like, we're holding on to everything. You have forgotten so much in the lifetimes I've been swinging around in these meat suits. Like, no, do not get rid of anything. She forgets that I can't remember if we're clogged up. She's like, I don't care if you're clogged.
Crystal's
Hold
like,
on to
it's
this stuff.
pretty though. I like it.
Yeah, she is. She's out of control.
Well, and this
Okay,
is where the technique that I was giving to you yesterday, I do think that that's very helpful. So let me share that here because it
please.
is because I am not you. So to me, if I see something and I have any question about it, I'm like, get rid of it. I don't want it.
I
Like
know.
my answer is don't keep it. And then I throw away stuff and I'm like, I probably in that bag had 20 things that I really liked, but whatever,
Right.
it's gone now. And but I think having three piles rather than doing a yes and a no, because that's very stressful because for you, the no feels like it's not a definite no. You have to add a third pile. You have to do a definite yes, a definite no, like yes, you're keeping, no, you're getting rid of it, and then a maybe pile because then at least you've sorted everything
Yeah.
and you don't have to commit to that like big decision of like, but it'll never be mine again. So you put it in a maybe pile, and the maybe pile can sit in a garage or basement or wherever your old bedroom for you
Yeah.
for months, really. And then you'll go back to it and you'll be in a different place and you'll be able to sort it further. But at least then you know what's a definite no and what's a definite yes.
Mm, I like it.
And so you're starting to pare it out and finding the things.
Yeah, I like this. Now, I had another thing to say, and I think I've said it in a previous podcast about what also motivates me is that idea of taking that a friend of a friend, her philosophy or her energetic was every bag of stuff, like let's go with trash bag full, that you take to the thrift store is $1,000 coming back to you. I could have like thousands of dollars
You
if I wanted
could have, and that's
so
what
much,
you need right now is
and that's what I need. So,
even just the idea of that and being like, everything I give away is abundance that comes back to me.
yeah.
Fabulous.
I will tell you the truth. I got rid of one of the sparkly pair of pants and I pulled the other pair back out. But I was like, I might need you for my birthday. I don't know what I'm gonna wear. And I could, if I'm not sure if you fit still, but I better check.
That's in the
Because
maybe pile.
it's
It's
a
okay.
maybe. It's
It's in the
fine.
maybe. It really is. I think that that's another piece of it, though, is also those three piles allows you not to judge yourself because you do really want to get rid of stuff and you do really love stuff. Those can
Yeah,
both be true. And the maybe pile allows you to be like, well, I do really like this. And I recognize I may not have the space for it to come with me on the next phase of my life. That's okay.
that's okay.
It's
You
okay.
know, I have a friend who's going through all of her mom's stuff who was 10 times worse than me. She had this giant house, and she would tell her children all the time, there is no storage in this house. So she passed recently, and she was lovely and sparkly, and she made everybody, I think I've talked about this too, but she made everybody wear pink or sparkles to her funeral. Pink sparkles. I was like, I am taking notes for my funeral party.
Can
Okay,
do.
just
Yes.
saying, just saying. And she loved flamingos and donkeys. And so she had these massive collections of all that, but she had massive collections of many, many things. So it took her daughters 6 weeks to go through her stuff, and then they handed it over to the auctioneer people who come in and price it and all the stuff. There's so much stuff, like in every nook and cranny, in every storage place, just like so much stuff. But she could, I don't even know where I'm going with this conversation, but there are people
Don't
that are worse than me.
don't be that. Yeah. Like I don't want to be
I
that.
also don't want to do that to my children. So it's like reining it in. But I think she loved every single thing though. Like she loved every single thing that she had. You could tell.
I know, but is that the legacy that you want to then leave
No,
upon
no,
your
no, but
death?
I don't want to leave that. But then this is the point of that story. Um, she has left all of these little things at her. Here's where the joy did come in. There is lots of stress, but this is the joy side. Her daughters each are packaging up like little things that they're gifting to their friends. And I will say, like, as a living person, the idea of like finding something that I'm like not ready to let go of, but I'm like, oh, so and so would love this. I know they would love this. That brings me a little joy. It makes it easier to release it because I'm like, oh, they would love it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Not like, it's kind of like, I would love to give you my glitter pants. Not that you would wear them or that they would fit you. But if I knew somebody that they would fit, that would love them, then
Yep.
I would be like, they're yours. Oh my God, I'm so glad they found a home.
Yeah.
Everybody should have a pair of glitter pants.
But that's also where I think opening up the idea that you may not have the person, but giving them to a thrift store will pair
Find their
them
person.
with the right person who will be like, oh my God, these glitter pants. I've been
Out of this
waiting my
world.
whole life for these glitter pants. I have the perfect party to take them to.
Yes. And that's what I'm going to imagine for all my things I'm getting rid of.
Yes.
You are going to go to a party and it's going to be so much fun for you.
You're gonna have so much fun, glitter pants. So I think that doing clearing, having the positive mindset of like, one, I'm releasing this so that more good can come to me. And by putting this back into the universe, the right person will find it and enjoy it. And then you and I yesterday also both were like, we've got to sage our houses,
Oh, yeah. I
which
used a
is
big sage.
a, and mine was smoky, smoky. So yeah, like smudging your house with a sage stick or whatever. You can do it with a ringing a bell around the house. You can, and there's lots of ways that you can clean a house energetically. But I think especially lately, the energy has really been rising. And it's like you got to clear out the old energy in your house too for the same reason, so that this new, clean, clear energy can come in and support you as you're
Mm,
like moving and living in this world.
I agree. That was a good thing to do.
All right. Is there anything about cleansing yourself, though, too? Because we've cleansed our house of clutter, we've cleansed our spaces. And then I do think I definitely saged myself also yesterday,
I did a
cleaning
little
my
dance in the sage, like twirling around before
twirling
I
around.
did the whole thing. I also, we got to remember this, opened the doors and some windows to let the energy out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You got to do that. And then I do think this time of year, things like there are herbs. Like if you think about the things that grow in the spring, like dandelion, like those herbs tend to also be very sort of cleansing for the liver, like nettle, dandelion. I can't think of what else grows right now in the springtime, but those things that are edible herbs, those typically are like associated with spring cleaning of the body and your organs.
Oh, can you just boil some dandelions? Is it the blossom?
Yeah, you can. Well, we have one year we made dandelion cookies, or teas. Yeah, nettle teas or dandelion tea, and just make it into a tea.
I like that for me and
Because
you.
that's sort of what I feel like too. When spring comes, it's like, oh, okay. There's like even stagnant energy in my body because I've been eating heavy foods and laying on my couch under a blanket for 5 months.
You're coming out of hibernation and you need to get the blood flow going again.
Everything needs to be moving. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think that's it. What are you grateful for?
I am so grateful that today is a sunny day on spring break. It's looking sunny, like I might want to go outside.
Go outside. You'll be happy you did.
And that I got to sleep in, but not sleep in for a show, but I did.
I'm grateful that you showed up and we got to do this. Also, I am really grateful because this was such a silly moment, but it made me so happy. My son was listening to the song Africa, by Toto. I must have been da, da, da. And the line is, I bless the rains down in Africa. And he was singing, I guess it rains down in Africa. And I just laughed so hard. Like he just sang, "Oh, I guess it rains down in Africa. I guess it rains down in Africa." And that was a moment of magic for me. I like didn't want to tell him the
No,
actual
don't ever
words,
tell
but
him.
I laughed too hard. I had to tell him because I was laughing about
No,
it. I had to.
no. Well, I think it's time to hitch your wagon to a rainbow, Catherine, with your heart-shaped glasses.
Kyla, you are correct, ma'am. Let's do it.
All right. Well, have a great rest of your universe.
Thank you.